Hey guys, welcome back to the Juice Reacts channel, and welcome to a new kind of concept idea video that I've been working on for a while now. That's kind of the main reason why, one of the main reasons why I haven't been uploading as consistently as I probably should be, is because I've been putting a lot of my time and a lot of my focus into this, thinking of this idea and thinking about how it's going to work and how I'm going to edit it, how I'm going to record it, all that kind of different things. And I think I've finally come up with a pretty good way of doing it, at least I think. And I'm kind of nervous to see how this is going to go over because it's very different to what I've done in the past. So yeah, I don't really know how this is going to go. I don't know if you guys are even going to enjoy it. I don't know if this is going to be anywhere close to successful. I guess it's not going to be. If it's not successful, then I won't even show it to you. So you won't even. The fact that you're seeing this right now means that at least I thought it was good enough to show, and I'm pretty stickler when it comes to that. When it comes to showing you guys actual good content, obviously. So the fact that you are seeing it means that I deemed it good enough to show. So we'll see how it goes. Basically, what this is going to be is we are going to be going back all the way to 2006 with the very first High School Musical movie, the movie that started it all. Zac Efron, just a little kid, basically. Gabriella, Vanessa Hudgens, just a little kid. All of the people that you've come to know and love, Lucas Grabeel, all of them. All of them. Corbin Bleu, every person you've come to know and love. We are going to be going back, and I'm going to be doing a retrospective of sorts. And talking about the inconsistencies of the movie. So basically what I mean by that is we're going to be going through the movie and I'm going to be pointing out things that are inconsistent, that don't make sense, that are funny, that are weird, and just going through that and having a good time, basically. But I do want to preface this by saying that I understand these are just movies with actors, and that a lot of these can be chalked up to the director, Kenny Ortega, just not noticing it or not caring about it, or set design mistakes or camera mistakes. Like, I understand that a lot of this can be chalked up to all those kind of different things. But what we're going to be doing in this, and I'm probably going to try to do this with all the other movies too, the second and the third movie, is we're going to be talking about this mostly in terms of the actual universe of High School Musical. So we're going to be acting like this is real and thinking of reasons, trying to make sense of reasons why things happen in the movie that would make sense for these actual people instead of just being actors with changing sets and all this kind of stuff. No, we're going to be thinking of, if you can get into the mindset of thinking about it in universe terms, not just, oh, it's a movie, that's why it's the way that it is. The director said this, the writer said this is how it's going to be, that's how it's going to be. No, we got to think about it as how does this make sense in terms of Troy and Gabriella and Sharpay and Ryan and Taylor and Chad and all these people. How does it make sense, and why would they do this? And that doesn't make sense because this wouldn't be able to happen. There's not enough time. All this kind of stuff. We'll get into it. You'll start to understand the goal of this video as we go in. So I'm very excited about this, and I do want to say that I'm not trying to be mean about any of this stuff, because some of these things that I point out, these inconsistencies or weird things that don't make sense, I'm not trying to be mean by pointing them out. This is coming from a place of complete love. Like, I grew up with these movies. In 2006, I was right there at Disney Channel watching the debut, the premiere of the first High School Musical movie, because I was a big Vanessa Hudgens fan. She was one of my first crushes when I was a kid, was Vanessa Hudgens. Her and Selena Gomez. If you couldn't tell, I was a big Disney Channel fan. Her and Selena Gomez were some of my first crushes. So when I found out that she was going to be in High School Musical, I was like, oh, I'm in. And I was only like 6 years old. So 6 or 7, depending on when it came out. So I was I was a big High School Musical fan in the original. I watched the other one, High School Musical 2, and I think I even went over to one of my friends' houses to watch the premiere of High School Musical 2. And I think that one came out in 2007. And then obviously those two were made for Disney Channel. Then the third one, High School Musical 3 senior year, that one got made for movie theaters. So I don't think I actually went to see that one in theaters. I don't think I was able to, because that was in like 2008. So I don't think I went to see it, but I do remember vividly having a VHS tape. If you're old enough, you know what a VHS tape is. If you're young enough, I apologize, ask your parents. But I was, I remember vividly having a VHS tape, putting it into the TV to get it to record High School Musical 3 when it premiered on Disney Channel. And I'm pretty sure we still have that somewhere. I'm not sure where it would be, but I'm pretty sure I still have that somewhere. The original VHS recording of the first time that High School Musical 3 played on Disney Channel, or premiered on Disney Channel. So let's just say I'm a big Disney Channel fan. I'm a big High School Musical fan, to say the least. So this is just me thinking the things are funny. Like when you see these movies as a kid, you obviously have a certain perspective and a certain way of thinking about it. Like, oh, you don't really think about the little details. But now as a 24-year-old, I go back and I watch these movies all the time, and I see things and I'm like, oh, that doesn't make sense, or that shouldn't be that way. Stuff like that, like the stuff that we'll get into in this video that I have. If you see me look down, it's because I have these notes right here on my phone, and I see these things that I have on my notes, and I go, why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. How would this happen in this time frame? Like all this kind of stuff, and you'll see as we go forward. So I just wanted to put that out there, a little disclaimer about maybe people who don't know me personally or know how much I love these movies, and I obviously love the series. So just want to say, this is not mean by any means. This is just me having some fun with the movies that I grew up with, that I love, and pointing out funny things, pointing out inconsistencies, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys go on to enjoy this video. It is going to be a little bit longer because we're going to be going through the whole movie, which is like an hour and a half long. So it is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I'll be popping. You'll hear my voiceover of the movie, but I might pop in on camera in and out a little bit to change things up and to talk about weird things and stuff like that. So I haven't fully decided about that yet. So without further ado, let's get into the actual video. Before we start, though, I do want to point out some things in that aren't in universe that are kind of annoying or just interesting that you may or may not know. So the first thing is, obviously, Zac Efron does not sing in the first movie. It is, all of his songs are sung by a man named Drew Seeley. So look him up if you're curious. And another fun fact about that, when High School Musical went on tour, because they did go on tour, I don't know how many cities they went to, but they did go on tour. Drew Seeley, because he sings the songs, obviously, went on tour, and Zac Efron did not. So if you were back in 2006 or 2007 and you didn't know that Zac Efron didn't sing those songs in the first movie, and you went there excited to see Zac Efron on stage with everybody else, and you saw Drew Seeley out there, you're like, who's this guy? Well, why would he be out here? Where's Zac Efron at? That's a little funny thing that maybe a lot of people, most people know nowadays that Zac Efron doesn't sing the first movie. He does the next two. He does sing himself in 2 and 3. But in the first one, it is a man named Drew Seeley who sings all the songs for Troy in the first movie. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out. The second thing is, obviously, Ryan, the whole character of Ryan, we know it's been confirmed in the series, in the season 4 opener, that Ryan is in fact gay, which we did kind of assume. not to be judgmental or anything, we did assume. You could kind of put the pieces together. Like, he was the closest thing to being gay that you could get away with in early to mid 2000s Disney, because we all know Disney Channel in that time was not very progressive or up with the times. They had a lot of stereotypical relationships where if you were a black character, you were dating black characters. If you were a white character, you were dating white, usually blonde characters, sometimes brunette or redheads, but most of the time redheads were dating redheads. It was very stereotypical. This is, you look like this, so you should date somebody that looks like you, which obviously we know nowadays is not good, not all the time. So date whoever you want to date. So Ryan kind of fell in that thing of he was very flamboyant, he was very outspoken, and he loved to dance, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be gay, but we knew that Ryan's character was, or at least a lot of people that I knew that Ryan's character was, but they couldn't go out and say it because that was Disney at the time. So now that we're in the year 2024, we can be confirmed that Ryan should have been stated as being gay and should have been allowed to be that in the movies, but he wasn't. So we'll talk about that more in universe as we get on with these 3 movies, but I wanted to point those 2 things out. It's not inconsistent, it's just kind of annoying that they wouldn't let him be who he wants to be. And the final thing is, before we get into the actual movie, is Sharpay. Sharpay losing all of her character growth throughout each movie. She starts movie number 1 with wanting to stop Gabriella, get her to leave, and she also has a little thing for Troy. And at the end, she falls for Zeke because he bakes, and she likes the cookies that he had. And then at the second movie, all of that character development is gone away. She's back to being the the basic stereotypical villain of Disney Channel, where she's all about Troy. She forgets every little bit of character growth she had with Gabriella, and she's back to being Sharpay, the normal Sharpay villain that we know. And then at the very end, she's with Zeke again. She becomes friends with all the gang again. And then in the third movie, it's wiped away again. So like it's just a plot device to get the movie over, like to go through the entire movie. But then it's done and it's reset back to the beginning for the next movie. So it's kind of annoying because you don't really get to see that growth between movies for Sharpay. But hey, I didn't write the movies. I didn't direct the movies. I can't say. So those are 3 things that I wanted to point out that aren't in universe that I wanted to talk about before we actually dive into the actual stuff and we get moving on. I don't want to forget about it. So now we can actually do the movie. So without further ado, it's time to point out all the inconsistencies in the very first High School Musical movie. I hope you guys go and enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get started.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here, put your number in. There.
You too.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go.
Excuse me, that is not the angle of picture that you took. In what universe is that the angle that you took of Gabriella? You took a direct on picture of Gabriella, and yet she's looking at an angle with the side of her head. How does this make sense? What are we doing here? what is this? Same goes for Troy either. Like the picture that Gabriella took doesn't match what the picture is in her phone of the way that Troy was standing. That's not a good diss, Chad. That's simply not a good diss. She spent her holiday shopping for mirrors. That's not a good diss. That shouldn't have gotten the reaction that it did. It's just simply not that good of a diss. All you remember is pink jelly. What kind of conversation could you have possibly had where you get to the point of only remembering pink jelly? I'm going to play that back for you guys just so you can get the concept of the idea. Let's just go right back to that. I'll even amp up the audio. Just sink it in. Just let it breathe on what he's talking about here.
Do you remember the night before? No, not at all. All I remember is like pink jelly.
Do you remember the night before? Not at all. All I remember is like pink jelly. That's exactly word for word what he says. What kind of story? You were skiing, Troy. You were on a ski trip. What could you have possibly been talking about? What could have possibly happened to you where you only remember pink jelly? What pink jelly? What? Just straight up pink jello? Is that what you're talking about? Like you woke up and there was just a pink jello sitting next to you? Like what are you talking about, Troy? I need to know. I timed this myself to figure out how long this homeroom lasts. It lasts 1:30 exactly. I timed it from bell to bell, 1:30. And the bell rings. From bell to bell, it is 1:30. What kind of homeroom class, even if this is the first homeroom, the first class of the day before or like after the holiday break, after the New Year's break, and you come back and it's just kind of like getting you back into things, it's still not going to be 1:30. And you know how I know that? Because later on, we find out that the homeroom class is longer than 1:30 because Miss Darbus goes in to talk about Shakespeare. So it's obviously going to last longer than 1:30. So why is it bell to bell 1:30? I need to know these answers. I need to know these questions. Why is it 1:30? It doesn't make any sense. These kids, even if it's homeroom, exactly just that, homeroom should last longer than 1:30. I need to know. Chad being totally against singing and dancing and musicals in general, and then 10 seconds later literally goes and breaks out into song and dance is kind of crazy to me. Like, it's kind of wild, the fact that he's, like, well, that's stupid. You think LeBron and Shaq are trying out for their school musicals? No. And then you go out here and you do, because it's part of a team and you're playing basketball, that makes it okay? No, Chad. It's the same difference. It doesn't make a change. It's all the same. It's all good. Okay? Although I do have a theory that all of this is in Troy's head. None of this actually happens. It's all in Troy's head. Like, he has some sort of accident on the snowboarding trip, the skiing trip, whatever it is, during the winter break, and he's in a coma, and this is all happening in his head. But that's for another video, possibly.
That should be 16 over pi.
Yes, Miss Montez?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just... shouldn't the second equation read 16 over pi?
16 over pi? That's quite impossible. I stand corrected.
You didn't do anything. You simply just tapped on the calculator. You didn't even type any numbers. There's no way you could have figured that out and been corrected with what you did with your fingers. You're not tricking me, math teacher. You're not tricking me. The fact that Sharpay goes to the internet, types in Gabriella's name, and instantly finds things about her is very crazy. Kind of crazy. It's not impossible, because as you can see, she's like a whiz kid that is like in the news, but it's still very, very crazy that all she had, like how few Gabriela Montezes out there in the world that she types in this specific name and she gets the exact person she's looking for. Kind of crazy. Like I said, not impossible, but kind of crazy.
The most heinous example of cell phone abuse is ringing in the theater. What temerity! The theater...
Now, I saw rumors. There's gonna be times when I break the fourth wall and talk out of universe, and I'll let you know when that happens. But this is one of those times. And I did see rumors surfacing online that when Troy does that, when he pulls the leaf down on Chad's nose and kind of tickles his nose while he's asleep, I did see that they were kind of like on set. They were kind of bored, so Zac Efron just did that to Corbin while Corbin was like trying to sleep or something in the tree, and he just did that. So that was kind of like unrehearsed, unscripted kind of thing, and they just left it in the movie. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. You can never really be too sure with those kind of rumors and stuff, but I choose to believe it's true because it makes it funnier.
What the heck are those two doing in a tree?
Best line in the entire series, without a doubt. Hands down, great delivery, just perfect. Chef's kiss, wonderful. What the heck are those two doing in a tree? Greatest line ever. See, right there. Right there. Right there. She says, today we're going to be discussing the importance of Shakespeare. That's going to take longer than the 30, 40 seconds that they had left in the homeroom period. So why the inconsistencies about the time? Let me know. I need to figure this out.
How's it going, man?
That's an aggressive way to greet somebody. You just go up there and just like grab their hand like that and dap them up. That's aggressive, dude. You need to chill out. How? How do you not see him? Chad. Please let me know how you don't see this man. This man is right behind you. You look this way. He's standing right there. Even with this head movement, with this angle of your head, your peripherals should be, your left eye should be able to see Troy's back and his hair right here. There's no reason for you not to be able to see this man. You even put your head out into the hallway to see him even more. You should be able to notice a man that looks the build of Troy Bolton looks right there behind you. You don't see him? How is it physically possible? Do you need to go to an eye doctor? We'll get to that in a minute. What is going on here? How do you not see this man? He's not hiding at all. How? How? From the time it takes Troy to leave, his dad is already at the wall. So how fast is Troy? Is he just some generational super fast guy who runs a 40 time and a 4.1? A 3.9? How fast is this man? How does his dad not turn that corner and instantly see his son running away? Like, there's no possible way that he could have avoided him. You could hear his footsteps. There's no way he could have possibly, from the time that Troy left to run away to the time that his dad is already at that wall and turns around the corner, he should have been able to see his son. And yet he just stares at nothing? Like, what are we doing here? You should have been able to see him and wondering why your son's running away from you. What is this musical even about? There's a camel, there's a moon, there's a tree, there's a ladder. What is this musical about? Oh, chill out, Darbus. Jeez. You get that triggered over a cell phone? My God. Yeah, musicals aren't for you. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That is a wonderful tie. His tie is wonderful. Not bad. Wouldn't be a lead, I wouldn't think, but she's got potential.
Miss Darbus is a little harsh.
The Wildcat superstar's afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm just scared.
Me too. Hugely.
Hugely? Hugely? Gabriella, ma'am, you said you're one of the smartest kids in this entire school. Well, you may not have said it, but it's implied. And you come up with the word hugely? Is that even a word? I've never heard, in my entire life, I have never heard anybody describe themselves and being, how nervous are they, as hugely. Massively, I can get behind. Tremendously, I can get behind. Hugely? Come on now, we're not in the 3rd grade. 17 school productions. That's a lot. How does that even work? How does the math even math on that? 17. So if she's only like, I don't know, 16 years old or something, maybe 17, because she's a junior. That's gotta be, man, she had to have been doing school productions when she was like in 4th grade or 5th grade. She had to have been starting young. My God.
So, why are you so afraid of Ryan and Sharpay? I mean, it is your show.
It is?
Isn't the composer of a show kind of like the playmaker in basketball?
Playmaker?
You know, the one who makes everyone else look good. I mean, without you, there is no show. You're the playmaker here, Kelsey.
I am?
He's not wrong, but the analogies that he uses, because he only knows basketball apparently, he could have done something a little bit better, a little smoother, but he's not wrong. What is this musical even about? Somebody tell me.
Well, if Troy can tell his secret, then I can tell mine. I bake. What? I love to bake. Strudel, scones, even apple pandowdy. Someday, I hope to make the perfect creme brulee.
Why does it take Troy all of a sudden singing randomly for everybody? The whole school just loses their collective mind, and everybody's just telling their deep, dark secrets. Because if Troy can do it, then so can I. Like, what does that have to do with it? If you want to tell your secret or not tell your secret, you don't have to do it just because some basketball guy is singing. Is it so shocking that the captain of the basketball team would sing in a musical that now, I got to tell my secret because I gotta let everybody know that I'm different, that I'm special. Like, what is happening here? And so Troy would have done this. Nobody would have found out that Zeke bakes. Nobody would not. You don't invite anybody over to your house and at any time tell them, yeah, I casually, I dabble in baking. Like, what is happening? Great delivery. Good job. We need to do a deep dive into if there was actual meat or chili or some sort of red meat sauce type of thing in these fries, because at one time they don't look like there's anything in there except for cheese and fries, and then when obviously she's got it on her coat and stuff, there's obviously red meat. And so what's going on here? Is it chili cheese fries or is it just regular cheese fries? I need to know these details. Well, we don't know if it was on purpose. I feel like that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Just because you don't like her doesn't mean she did it on purpose. She clearly slipped on some milk.
What's up? What's up? Oh, let's see. You missed a free period workout yesterday to audition for some heinous musical.
Again, Chad, you supposedly hate musicals and hate singing and dancing, and yet every single chance you get, you're singing and dancing. At least be consistent. Yeah, okay. Just skater dudes? Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. I feel like they got a little bit more than that just going on, if you know what I mean. Why does Miss Darbus go through the entire boys' locker room to get to Coach Bolton's office? It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. If you've never been inside a boys' locker before, and since a lot of my audience is kind of female, so why would you have been inside a boys' locker room before? I'll fill you in. Do you know how much teenage dong she could have been exposed to by going that long way? I know for a fact that there is a door right next to Coach Bolton's office to Miss Darbus's right. You take a left outside of the door, outside of Coach Bolton's office. There is a door there. You want to know how I know that? Because Troy uses it later. Troy uses it later on. There is a door. She could have saved all this possibility of seeing exposed teenage boys by going through that door. She didn't have to. She wanted to. That's why she's a creep. That's why she wanted to. She got freaky little fetishes. That's why she went through the whole way. I'm pretty sure that Coach Bolton's sandwich is literally just bread and lettuce. I'm like 99% sure that's what it is. Classic. Oh, that's something I would say too. Keep an eye on the plants behind Troy and Gabriella. Just keep an eye on them. Different plant to the one that was behind him previously. Now they're different plants again. What are we doing here? How did that plant change? It's not even in the same location. What are we doing? Come on. Come on. What? Who changes? There's like a secret. Is there a secret gardening group that just like replaces the plants every single time? Like, what's happening? How does she not see Gabriella in the bathroom? It doesn't make any sense. What does she just like have Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility? How did she hide? She stands at the mirror. She looks in that direction. Did Gabriella just like crouch into a ball? Where did she go? How does Sharpay not see her? It makes no sense. Somebody please inform me on how that happened. What's with the Troy missing practice thing? Like, what's going on? Troy, you mismanaged your time horribly. You managed your time horribly. You could have been at practice, but no, you wanted to go paint sets with Gabriella during practice. You know what time practice is. You knew you weren't going to be able to make it there in time after you were already painting sets. You just managed your time horribly. This is all on you. You're in trouble because of you. You could have easily just said, no, I can't paint sets today. I got to go to actual practice. But no, you wanted to go paint sets because you liked the girl, and she was painting sets and doing stuff. So you had, oh no, I gotta miss practice for this girl. Troy, it's all on you. I can't save you. I try to protect you. I can't save you on this one. Also, what's with the different jerseys? What's with the 2 jersey numbers for Troy and Chad? Like, come on. Like, I don't think any other player wears a second jersey number during practice and for the games. But Troy's got 10 and 14, and Chad's got 15 and 8. Like, what are we doing? Why do those 2 guys have different practice jerseys for practice, or different jerseys for practice in the games, when everybody else, I'm pretty sure, wears the same number for practice and the games? Like, why do they get to be special? Because they're the 2 best players? Is that why they're special? What's going on here?
Wow.
For the timing to make sense on this, for her to be where she's at when we see her, when we see Gabriella in the gym, you can see how far the doors are from where they are, from where she is. For the timing to make sense for that, she would have had to already have left and started going into the gym while practice was still going on. There's no way that she could have gotten from those doors to where she was in the gym, on the other side of the gym, if she got in there when Troy got there. She had to have gotten there like a minute before Troy did. Maybe even longer. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way that Gabriella is that fast where she got there after Troy and was in that same spot to make sense. And Troy didn't see her? How would Troy not have seen her walking in or standing there? So she had to have gotten there super early, and Troy just didn't see it. I don't know. Make it make sense. Man, nice cock block there, Dad. Jeez. Let your son have some game.
That detention was my fault, not hers.
You haven't missed practice in 3 years. That girl shows up.
That girl is named Gabriella. She's very nice.
That's the best you could come up with, Troy? That girl is named Gabriella, and she's very nice. I mean, come on. I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's super nice. But you couldn't have thought of, and she's the best or something. You could have used any other word, but you picked, and she's super nice. Oh, Troy, you kill me. Chad's speech is super weird. With the whole ending up on either the cereal box or in his mom's refrigerator. It's very, very weird. I kind of get it. I kind of understand it. But it's very weird. Chad and Taylor have talked maybe a total of one time. The entire time this has been going on. The entire time they came back to school. They maybe talked. They had one little moment in homeroom when Taylor made like a joke that got her in detention for 15 minutes or whatever it was. Other than that, I don't think they've ever talked until this moment right now, which just feels very weird. Like, why would... I know that Chad knows that Taylor's friends with Gabriella, but still, like, why would he just randomly go up to this girl and talk to her that he's never talked to before, ever? And to make a plan like this.
Ryan, we need to save our show from people who don't know the difference between a Tony Award and Tony Hawk.
How would you not know the difference between a Tony Award and Tony Hawk? A Tony Award's a literal piece of metal. It's an award. Tony Hawk's a literal human being. If you don't know the difference between that, you shouldn't be in high school. So you're okay with Charlie's Angels, Chad, but you're not okay with singing and dancing or musicals. But you're okay with Charlie's Angels. Okay, Chad, I get it. I totally understand you.
Win together, lose together, teammates.
But suddenly the girl and the singing.
Man, I'm for the team. I've always been for the team. She's just someone I met.
Troy, you're staring at Chad. How do you not see this camera? You don't see him lift up the laptop and put this camera on? You're staring right at him. What is this eye? How do the eyes at this school not work? Do we need to have what's the eye person, the eye doctor called? An optometrist? I don't know. They need to hire somebody to come and check everybody's eyesight because it does not seem to be working. Chad's eyes aren't good. Sharpay's eyes aren't good. Troy's eyes are... Everybody can't see. How do you not see this camera right here?
All right, the singing thing is nothing. Probably just a way to keep my nerves down. I don't know. It means nothing to me. You're my guys, and this is our team. Gabriella is not important. I'll forget about her. I'll forget the audition, and we'll go out and get that championship.
Man, Troy is cold-blooded. My God. She doesn't matter? She's nothing to me? I'm going to just forget about her and focus on the game? Like, I know he's saying this to get the guys off his back, but my God, if that's how he says it when he thinks he's in private, woo! Jeez, Troy. That is cold-blooded. That's also cold-blooded. The fact that you just broke this girl's heart, and you know you did because you signed up for it. You know what you were doing, Taylor. And then asking her to go get some lunch after she's clearly just been heartbroken by the boy she thought she liked and thought she knew? Crazy.
It's funny when you find yourself looking from the outside. I'm standing here, but all I want is to be over there.
I just want to say, I contend to this very day that the opening words, the very first things that Gabriella says in this song, When There Was Me and You, is not Vanessa Hudgens. This is another one of those breaking the fourth wall ones. It just doesn't, to me, I don't know if it's the audio mixing or what it is, but the very first few words that Gabriella says in When There Was Me and You, and I think it's only in, it might be in the soundtrack version too. It doesn't sound like Vanessa. I don't know what it is. It's got to be like an audio mixing thing, because obviously it's Vanessa that sings the song. I know that. But for some reason, the very first couple of words that she says in When There Was Me and You just does not sound like her. I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't sound like her. I'll play it back for you again.
It's funny when you find yourself looking from the outside. I'm standing here, but all I want is to be over there.
See, and now it goes into obviously sounding a lot like Vanessa. It's weird. I don't understand it. It just doesn't sound like her. It's got a weird, different tone than what Vanessa has. So it's got to be some sort of audio mixing. I get that Troy is like the star of the team. Without Troy, they don't win any games. I get it. I get it. But the fact that Troy's got this huge blown up picture, well, everybody else is in the background, kind of. I mean, they're doing their action poses, although I don't know what Chad's doing back there. He says he's not into dancing, and yet he's doing some, like, jumping dance kind of celebrate. I don't know what he's doing. But everybody's in their action poses, and Troy just gets this huge front and center, massive portion of the poster. I get it. But why does he get to be much bigger? It's about the team, right? That's what we've been hearing the entire time. It's not just one person. It's about the entire team, right? So why does Troy get to be the top? I don't. Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. So everybody gets to go outside during class to go and have this weird, like, wildcat party out in the front courtyard, and then Gabriella's the only girl left in the whole school, the only person left in the whole school. She has this whole school to sing When There Was Me and You, and then all of a sudden, the moment she gets done, everybody's back in the class. Like, where were they? Did nobody, like, have to go to their class and walk past Gabriella? That would have been pretty awkward, right? It doesn't seem like she should be the only one that gets to stay in the school, right? Like, what's the special privileges? Why does she get to stay? Just because she's singing a song? No, she got to go out there and celebrate. I know she just got her heart broken. She got to go out there and celebrate with the rest of the team. That's what the school is all about, right? Basketball? That's what we've been hearing. Go out there and celebrate. Come on.
Listen, there's something I want to talk to you about.
And here it is. I know what it's like to carry a load with your friends. I get it. You've got your boys, Troy. It's okay. So we're good.
Good about what? I was going to talk to you about the final callbacks.
I don't want to do the callbacks either.
What was he gonna say? He says he wants to talk to her about the final callbacks. He just told his boys in the locker room that he don't care about her. He just told his boys that she means nothing, and he's going to forget about her when it comes to the championship game, the state title game. So what was he going to tell her? Was he going to tell her a lie? Was he going to lie to her about doing the callbacks, or maybe we can try to push them back or something? Like, what was he going to say? I need to know. Was he going to try to make up some sort of story? Because obviously he doesn't know that she knows what he said. But I want to know I want to know what he was going to say to her. Chad can be a bad friend sometimes. He can be a really bad friend sometimes. He knows what he just did. Unless he's completely oblivious to human emotion other than basketball. He knows that he just made his friend do that and recorded it to show Gabriella. Or live streamed it to show Gabriella. So he knows what he just made Troy go through. And he knows how Gabriella's going to react. So then to go up to him and be like, not even caring about it and just totally focused one mind on basketball when his friend's going through some heartbreak because he doesn't know why Gabriella's mad, even though Chad knows why Gabriella's mad. Like, he can be a bad friend sometimes. Let's just say that. All right, watch this. So Gabriella, this is another breaking the fourth wall moment. Gabriella has her tray in this scene. Boom, gone. Where'd the tray go? Dun, dun, dun. What happened? Where'd the tray go? Did she consume her food like a vacuum? What's happening here? She just like, oh, nom, 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 nom. Like, what are we doing here? Where'd the tray go? Did she's so upset she just tossed it away? Like, what's happening here? Make it make sense, please. I need to know where this tray went. She had the tray, it cuts away from her, it cuts back, and now it's here. It's crazy. I need to know exactly where this is. I feel like it's the X-Files alien music or whatever. Like, what's going on here? Where'd it go? Don't act like you two are shocked about what's going on. You literally told or knew you would get Troy to say those horrible things about Gabriella so that they would break up and not do the show. You knew this was going to happen, and now, because it's actually going down the way that you predicted it was going to go down, I feel like a bad friend. I feel like we screwed up. We really actually hurt their feelings. It's not like we knew that was going to happen. Come on, guys. What's this I see? A little bread sandwich. That sandwich is literally just bread. It is literally just bread. There's no meat, no cheeses, no condiments, no vegetables. It's bread wrapped in plastic wrap. I see he gets his sandwich making skills from his father, who had lettuce and bread in his sandwich, but this one, he forgot to put the lettuce in. He's just eating a bread sandwich, and he took a bite out of it. Troy, you're just getting carbs. Put some protein on that thing. You baked those fresh today? How early did you have to wake up to bake those? Because presumably school starts at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You have to get there. I don't know when school starts for you, but I'm assuming it starts sometime early in the morning. So if you had to get up, what time do you have to get up? And you might have had basketball practice or an open gym before school. Maybe. You probably had to get up at like 4 in the morning to bake the cookies. Depending on how far does Zeke live from the school? I don't know. He has to ride the bus, I would assume. Unless he's got a car. He's a junior, so I guess he could have a car. But I never see him driving a car. So how early do you have to get up and bake these cookies? Like 6 o'clock in the morning? What happened here? Why are you getting up that early to bake cookies, Zeke? Make them the night before. I know they're fresh, but they're not going to be fresh if you make them the night before. But it saves you getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever it may be. Come on, Zeke. Learn how to bake efficiently. Okay, Troy. Now you're just trespassing. I mean, you're just breaking and entering into their backyard. Miss Montez, you're telling me that you're not gonna lock your back gate? Come on. I know this is Albuquerque, and there's probably not a lot of crime, but when you got a horny teenager out here, you gotta lock your patio, your back doors. What are we doing here? This is trespassing, Troy. Come on. Troy's doing all of this talking on the phone while he's actively climbing a tree. I gotta respect the grind, because he doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't have to catch his breath or sound like he's trying at all. That is some next level cardio, that he can climb that tree, talk on the phone, and not lose his breath or be out of breath at all when he gets up there. Also kind of creepy that he's doing it, but still, to not lose any breath while you're talking on the phone and climbing a tree, not showing any effort. Amazing.
Because I brought you something.
What do you mean?
Turn around.
You cannot tell me, with a straight face, tell me that this man is not creepy. If Troy was ugly, if he did not look the way that he looks, you cannot tell me she would be okay with this. If he can't think about this in the context of her not liking him, and he was ugly. Like if he liked her but she didn't like him and he was still trying this, think about it like this. He says, "Well, turn around. Come on. Turn around." Like you can't tell me that if he was uglier and she wasn't into him like that she wouldn't be creeped the F out. That he climbed her patio and staring at her through her door. Man, hot people really do get it all, don't they? That's whack. Fourth wall break time again. I wonder if that's the one and only time we get to hear Zach actually sing in this movie. I wonder if they actually considered having Drew do that part and then just dubbing it over like the rest of it. But then they probably thought that'd be a little too cruel because they've had Drew sing all of these parts and they're going to have him sing all the other parts too. So we might as well give Zach a little bit. I mean, we can't just get rid of his singing the entire time, and it's only like a line or two. It's not that big of a deal. So I just wonder what the meeting was when, like, the writer's room, and they were talking about this part of the scene, and they were like, we're gonna have Troy sing a part of the song, started something new here, and on the patio, or on the back porch, or back deck, or whatever it is, balcony, I guess, and we're gonna have him sing it, but we're debating, should we have Drew sing it, or should we have Zach sing it, and Kenny Ortega's probably like, we'll have Zach sing it. It's only a line or two. It's what's the big deal? So I wonder if they even considered having Drew sing it, or if they always were going to have Zach be the one to sing it. It's always funny to me that this is the only part that we get to see Zach actually sing in this movie. You forgave him just like that because he climbed your balcony, climbed a tree to get to your balcony like a creep, and just, he sang a few words to you. Oh, he sang the song that you guys sang when you first met on New Year's. Oh, now all these nasty things that he said to you are just going to completely forget because he's attractive and he's saying to you, come on, Gabrielle, have some morals. He said some bad things about you, some nasty thing. He called you nothing. He said you were nothing to him. And you're just going to forgive him because he's sexy? And you like it? Come on, Gabriella. What are we doing here? Having this many students still at school at 5:36 in the afternoon is crazy. I get, like, basketball practice runs long. You got some extra activities, extracurricular activities like the decathlon practice or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. But having this many students still at school at almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you gotta be kidding me, bro. You gotta be absolutely joking. It doesn't make sense if it's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. Why would all these kids be here that early? That doesn't make sense either. So it's gotta be PM. Why are they there so late? Go home, have some dinner with your families, stop spending all your time at school. Come on. Crazy. What is this musical even about? Somebody please tell me. Okay. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tyrant here, a little bit of a rant, you could say. I need to know. I need to know, in what galaxy, in what universe is a state championship basketball game scheduled at 3:30 in the freaking afternoon? I get the Scholastic Decathlon being at 3:30 in the afternoon, kind of. That can make sense. You can get me there. And the callbacks being at 3:30, that makes perfect sense. Because the kids just go right from class to the practice for the callbacks. I get that, makes perfect sense to me. But having a state championship basketball game at 3:30 in the afternoon makes literally no sense. How does West High get there at 3:30? How do they get there? How do the fans get there? The parents? Somebody needs to inform me on how it makes any sense to have a basketball game, a state championship basketball game, at 3:30 in the afternoon. I get like 6:30 or 7:30. That makes sense. People get off their jobs. They get out off of work. They go back home. They have some dinner. They go to the game. They have a good time. Get some popcorn. Have a hot dog. Whatever. I get it. That makes sense. That's normal. But to have at 3:30 in the afternoon, some schools don't even get out until 3:30 in the afternoon. Makes no sense to me. It's the one thing that I can just... it frustrates me so much. It doesn't make any sense. Zeke said a pie. Sir, that is a pie cake. In what universe is that a pie? Unless you've got some sort of like cherry or blueberry or blackberry or apple or some sort of fruit filling in a pie crust around that thing, then that is a cake, sir. You want to be a baker? You want to bake? And you're calling that a pie? Just because it's got pie? You could have put the pie symbol on a pie, an actual pie, but you put it on a cake, and you're calling it a pie? Come on, Zeke. What are we doing here? You want to be a baker and you're doing this? This is Bush League. Come on. What are we doing, Zeke? You're better than that. Is this part of their attempt to get in the good graces of the drama department, or like, what's the point of them wearing the Go Drama Club t-shirts under their warm-up stuff? I don't get. I never understood that. Like, they said that they're gonna make them pay or whatever. They're gonna get back at them, and that's how they get back at them. Like, I know that their overall goal is to do they're gonna get to their plan. We'll get to that in a minute, but like, what's the point of the Go Drama Club t-shirts? Like, just to make them, like, to lull them into a false sense of security so that they don't think anything wrong is going on? Like, they're okay with the drama club? Is that what it is? Because I need to know. So they get out at like 3:10, 3:15 almost. And you're telling me that everybody's ready to go for a basketball game at 3:30 in the afternoon? I mean, come on. Come on. How did everybody get there? How? It's 3:30 in the afternoon. How are some of these adults here? How is West High here? Did they share a building? How did they get here on time? I'm assuming they had to take a bus to get here. Did they get out at 2:30? Like, what's going... How does this work? It doesn't make sense. How did all these adults get here? How did Miss Montez get here? Does she work from home? It's 3:30. How'd you get off your... Did you leave early from your job? How are all these other adults here? How is the competition here? Do these people not have jobs? Do they just have infinite money and infinite time? What's going on here? Make it make sense. Why is everybody... Can somebody explain this to me? Why is everybody getting, like, dressed up? Is this like a... Because this is only the callbacks. So why is the callback so important? I don't understand, like, what the big deal about the callbacks is. This isn't even the actual play. Maybe this is like a run through of... That's why everybody's getting dressed up, because it's like a run through of the performance. But if this is a callback, callbacks mean you haven't gotten the part yet. You just get another chance to audition to ensure that you possibly could get that part, but you haven't gotten it yet. So if this is just a callback, this isn't the actual play. Why is it taken so seriously? Why is everybody getting dressed up? Why is it such a big deal? What is happening? Why is the callbacks this huge deal where everybody's dressed up, everybody's in a formal attire, ready to go, costumes and everything, if this is just a callback? What's the play gonna be like? I can't stress this enough. The girl in the middle at the table with the clocks, the timers, she literally does nothing. Why is she even there? She doesn't start the timer. She doesn't stop the timer. She doesn't aid in anybody's advantage. She doesn't help anybody. She's a waste of space right now. She's taking up the room in the middle of the floor. What is her purpose? She doesn't even stop or start the timers. Why is she there? I beg somebody, please tell me what this musical is even about. How does Taylor have this much power? How can she send a literal kill code from her laptop to the gym scoreboard and get away with it? How does she have this much power? Where's the IT guy? Where's the technical guy? Where's the computer guy that should have been able to stop it, I guess, or fix it? Like, what? How did she get there? Did she have somebody hack it for her, and then she just typed in the code or something? Like, how does she have this much power? She shouldn't be allowed to have that much power. That's dangerous. All right, we need to discuss some things here. First off, what is this musical even about? Because I still don't know. Secondly, Sharpay and Ryan are known to do their over-the-top versions of Kelsey's script. They did it with the song previously. So do we take that to mean that Bop to the Top is an over the top version of what Kelsey wrote for the play or for the musical? So if Troy and Gabriella get the lead roles, then they would have to sing Bop to the Top, but in Kelsey's version? Is it a slower down version of Bop to the Top? Is it not even in the musical at all? And Sharpay and Ryan just put it in there because that's what they do. They add their flair. Like, would we get to see Bop to the Top from if I went to the play, if I went to East High and I went to the musical, would I get to see Troy and Gabriella singing Bop to the Top? But just a different version of it, or would it be that exact version? Is that how Kelsey wrote it? It doesn't seem like that's how she wrote it because her face the whole time says like she's disgusted and like annoyed that they're even doing this. So that makes me think that she either wrote it differently, slower, and that's not what they did. They did their own version of it, or she didn't have it in the play at all, and then Sharpay and Ryan just added it in because that's what they do. Because they just assumed they were going to get the leads anyway. I need to see, if it's true, I need to see Troy and Gabriella doing Bop to the Top because that would really be awesome. What'd she just say? Because I'm assuming she said pianist, but that is not what it sounded like. And if it's not what she said, then we got some other issues. If you can, I'll turn it up for you so you can hear it again. There's a girl in the background that says she has stage fright, and it kills me every time because why would you say that? Of course she's got stage fright. She never sung in front of this many people before. I mean, come on. Of course she's gonna be a little nervous. The whole auditorium is filled up basically, so there's a ton of people in here. Of course she's gonna be a little shy and scared, and for you to just to scream out, does she have stage fright? That's crazy. You're a crazy little girl right there. So I'm guessing that Troy and Gabriella are going to get the leads in the musical. That seems pretty obvious, judging by the reactions and all that kind of stuff, and judging by Miss Darvis's reaction. So with that, I want to see the music. This is just callbacks. This isn't the play. This isn't the musical. I want to see the actual musical. I don't want to see them in regular streetwear. I want to see them all dressed up. I want to see what this musical is all about. We got a freaking camel, and I want to see what's going on. And I want to see Troy Gabriella doing Bop to the Top. I want to see Sharpay and Ryan doing. See them doing Breaking Free. I think that'd be pretty awesome too. I want to see the musical. I want to see it because I don't know what it's about. Yeah, this announcer is totally not biased towards towards East High. Totally not biased. How does Gabriella have a red dress just with her? Did she bring it to school that day? If she did bring it, where'd she keep it? She keep it in her tiny little locker? Because I trust me, when I was in high school, I kept clothes in my tiny little locker. It didn't go well. They were wrinkled. They were just, it wasn't a good thing. So did she ask a teacher to put it in their classroom to hold it on for her? Did she know this was going to happen? Obviously, she knew something big was going to happen because it was the state championship game. So obviously, she wants to support the team. But how'd she get it? Did she keep it in her locker? Where'd she keep it? If she brought it with her, how'd she get it there? How'd she keep it? She couldn't have kept it in her locker. They don't got big lockers. Trust me, we've seen the lockers. They don't got big lockers. Where'd she get this red dress? Why did all these costume changes? What's going on here? I don't understand it. Where'd she get the red dress? See, it makes sense for Sharpay and Ryan to have wardrobe changes. That's their personalities. That's who they are. But everybody else, it doesn't make sense. Like, why does Gabriella change multiple times? Why does Troy change multiple times? Why does Chad change? Like, why is everybody changing clothes? You bring one pair of clothes, you get one pair of clothes, and that's it. You get one pair of clothes. That's it. Yo, Jason, dog. You just tossed her hat away like it's nothing. What if she wanted that hat? What if that hat goes with her outfit, and without it, she's going to be upset? You just, oh, because you're a big basketball guy, you're going to toss her hat away and help her shoot the basket because, oh, that's attractive. That's going to make her fall in love with you. What if she wanted that hat? That's disrespectful. Just take her hat off and toss it away like it's nothing. Crazy. Jason, you got to learn how to read people, because you're walking some dangerous territory if you just walk up to a girl and throw her hat away and think that's going to be, like, attractive. She's going to fall in love with you. Oh, Ryan's hip thrusting. Oh, it's the most iconic thing I've ever seen in my life. Ryan, I love you. The hip thrusting is fantastic. Oh, so now she's just totally flirting with Zeke after she just, like, completely rejected him, like, 5 seconds earlier with the baked cookies or whatever. I mean, come on, Sharpay. At least have some consistency. Chad's just totally cool with singing and dancing when we're all in this together. You've complained this whole movie about this is a break in the fourth wall one. You've complained this whole movie about how you don't want to sing, you don't want to dance, you think it's stupid, you think that everybody should just focus on their stuff and not do anybody else's stuff, and yet here you are, Chad, doing everybody else's stuff, and you're totally excited about it, you're totally happy about it, you're all in, and you're singing we're in this together with everybody else, and you're totally excited about it. Can you please be consistent one time in your life, Chad? I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. I know it's not normally something that I do. I usually just like react to things in a more traditional sense, but I love these movies so much. These are probably the 3 most watched movies of my entire life. Like, I've probably seen these 3 movies more than I've seen any other media in my entire life. I've seen these movies so many different times, each one of them so many different times. So over the years, you just start to build up these things in your head like, that doesn't make sense, or that's not how that should work, or that doesn't line up with something else that you said earlier. Like just the little things as you get older and you watch these movies over and over again. At least for me, I'm sure that happens with you guys with other things. It doesn't have to be these movies, but with other media that you watch, I'm sure that happens with you where you watched it as a kid. It makes sense because you're a kid. And then as you get older, you start to be like, that doesn't really make sense. Like the biggest things that I have a problem with in this movie, it's not really a problem, I'm just curious of why this is how it was done, is the championship game starting at 3:30. That makes literally no, I cannot forgive. That makes no sense. There's no instance in any world where a championship basketball game is going to start at 3:30 in the afternoon. I don't care if it's on a Friday. I don't care if it's whatever day of the week you want to put it on. There's no way that it's going to start at 3:30 and people are going to be there. How? How does West High get there? How do the adults get there? How do the referees get there? How do the fans get there that aren't from East High? How do the parents get there? Do they not have jobs? Like, what's going on? That's the biggest one. That's the most egregious one that I just don't get, and that I've always wanted. That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this entire video in the first place, was for that specific scene and that specific moment to talk about it and to express my opinions on it, because it doesn't make any sense. So that scene right there, that moment, if that moment wasn't in the movie, or if it made more sense, this video probably doesn't happen, or at least it doesn't happen as quickly as it has, where I've decided to do it right now instead of like maybe pushing it back months or years, or maybe never even do it in the first place. So you can think that moment and that mess up, we'll call it, as one of the reasons why this video even exists. So that one is like the most egregious one, why I made this video and why I wanted to do it, because it doesn't make any sense. But another one is all the costume changes. The costume changes don't make any sense either. Like, I talked about it before with the red dress. If we're speaking strictly in universe, I understand why the costume changes. Because she goes off camera, she gets changed, she comes back on camera, she's in a different outfit. I understand that. I get it. I'm not stupid. I'm talking strictly in the universe of the movie, in Albuquerque, even though technically it's in Salt Lake, in Albuquerque, because we're in universe. How does Gabriella have that many different outfits? Did she come prepared? because she knew the basketball game was on the same day as the decathlon or the whatever scholastic decathlon, whatever they call it. Did she bring the red dress because she knew that she was going to go support Troy after her thing was over, after she had the event over? So she brought the red dress. If she brought the red dress from home, which is what I'm assuming she did, where did she keep it? Did she keep it in her locker? Did she give it to Miss Darbus? Did she put it in some other teacher's room to have them so it doesn't have them hold it so it doesn't get wrinkled? Like, where did it get kept? Like, it makes sense for Sharpay and Ryan to have costume changes. That's who they are. That's what they do. They change costumes all the time. I don't. That doesn't even like become a blip on the radar for me. Like that makes perfect sense. Like, of course Ryan would switch outfits during the day. So of course Sharpay would. That makes perfect sense. But for a character like Troy or Gabriella or Kelsey or Chad for sure, why are they changing outfits? What's happening? Where are they keeping all these clothes? Do they have a magical, like, Narnia locker where you open it up and it's just like a portal to another world where they just, like, it's bigger than you think? In the outside, it looks small, but in the inside, it's massive? Is that where they're keeping all these clothes? Because I want to know. I need to know. So there's some really big things in the movie that and we'll get to the other big inconsistencies as we move on into 2 and 3. But those are two of the biggest ones that I have a problem with when it comes to the first movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this different style of video. I really hope it does well, because obviously I've been working on this video for a long time, and so I wanted it to do well. I want it to be appreciated, and I want you guys to give your opinions. Do you agree with my stuff? Do you not agree with my stuff? Do you have any other things that I might have missed? Because I wrote down a lot of notes on my phone for things I wanted to discuss and things that I caught while watching the movie over and over again. But I might have missed even more stuff that you guys caught and I didn't have in the video. So if you did catch anything that I didn't happen to say, let me know down below in the comments. That'd be really great. I can add it to my list for a future updated video. But that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really did. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a super long video. It's obviously different style of video than what I normally do. So just give it a shot. I hope you guys did give it a shot. And if you did, I hope you guys liked it. If you did enjoy it, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.